What
have.
inspired you to get into this work of coaching people through anxiety?
My own story.
Yeah,
My
of
own
course.
story is what inspired me, because I grew up in a family that was financially strained, chaotic. It was challenging. My parents were misattuned. There was invalidation going on, and that's how I regarded myself. And I was also a sensitive child. I'm a sensitive person in general still. I mean, that didn't go away. But those were the messages that I took with me and shaped me, and guided me in everything I did. So it's like something was awry, right? And I went off to college, and I was like, oh, I escaped this. I graduated college, and I became a successful talent agent. And I found the man I married, who was amazing, and I thought, again, I escaped this. And we had a child, my son, who I mentioned, the aforementioned child, the kickboxer, and then we were newly pregnant again with another child, and my husband died suddenly. And that changed everything. All the stuff that I thought I had escaped came back with a vengeance, mixed with grief. So much pain, and I didn't have enough tools based on my family of origin. Let's just say I didn't have healthy tools. So of course, there's a difference. You can have some tools, but they may not be healthy ones, full of coping mechanisms, maladaptive coping mechanisms, and negative thought processes, and then repeating what you know because you don't know better.
Nope.
And that could really mess up your kids. I went on to have my baby, who we were, when we were pregnant, and so there I was raising two kids alone with bad tools, and in grief, in pain, so much pain. I didn't know what to do. And I didn't even know I needed to do anything. I was just in survival mode.
Yeah.
And years went by, and I got that tingling feeling, that the one I mentioned earlier about something's not right. It was so many years where I couldn't even think about something's not right, because I was just trying to get through the day. And I was a decent parent because I had lots of love in my heart, but I was not the parent that I am now. I was not the parent that I would have wanted to be had I known how to be that. And I have it mirrored to me. I didn't know how until I learned how. And my son would say, "Mom, when he would get in trouble, I would be mad at him for something, and he was like, why do you talk so much about, like, why are you over explaining? Like, I got that. I got it." And I was like, oh, I didn't even notice that I was over explaining. Coping mechanism. Like, oh, okay, well, now I know. I had no idea. That you're not supposed to raise your voice to your kids, and, like, there are times you need to raise your voice or make a point, but then there are other times that you really don't need to. There are other calm methods. Those are the ones I had to learn. I had to learn them, and I will tell you that I became. Oh, I didn't tell you how that happened. Sorry. I went into therapy, and it didn't work. I was my life had been so painful. I was so tightly, I was in like I've read it in books, a tight bud. There's a great poem about being a tight bud. And I was this tight bud. And even though I wanted to help myself, I couldn't. My mind wouldn't allow it. I was just blocked by these traumatizations that had happened, whether they were big or small, what was being made fun of or teased, or left out or whatever it was. It was like it had all accumulated inside me. And then, of course, my husband passing away suddenly, there was just so much. There were so many traumas, mostly small, but that one was big. And I kept re-traumatizing myself, and I didn't know what to do. So I went to the therapy, and it didn't work. It didn't work. Maybe it was, I don't know. It didn't work. And then I ended up, so sorry. I ended up finding, a few years later, I found a coach. And she is the one who brought it all to the surface. And she was able to show me, or we worked together, we collaborated and worked together for me to see all the things. I don't know if you can hear that. Sorry, I keep getting texts. My apologies. All the things that I don't want to say. I don't want to use the expression "were wrong with me," but all the things where my mind was berserk. I was not. Things weren't wired. Things weren't wired properly. There's a better way to say it, but that creates an image. And I needed rewiring, and I needed to learn. There were so many lessons I needed to learn. And the first thing was going back and taking a look at what I came from. And it was awareness. It was awareness that was my first step in moving forward. It was like, wait, I don't have to carry the burdens of our family secrets, and I don't have to keep. By the way, I was like almost 40 years old. So now we're talking. We're well into. We're almost 40 years in, and I was like, I don't have to live this way. Wait, I don't have to live this way. Exactly, mind blown. What?
What?
I have agency. I don't. I can be different. Oh, this is amazing. So I was like, I hit the ground running, right? Like that. Once I saw it, there was no turning back. There was no going back. I was moving forward, and I started working on myself. That was when my work began, all my growth, and that was when I learned I had to be courageous. I had no courage. I had to build that up. And by the way, it didn't take much at all. It was like, as we discussed, it was like you do that first courageous step. You make that first courageous step, and suddenly it's like, oh, I like this. I can be courageous. I love it. This is fantastic. You mean I don't have to feel this way all the time? And so I started dealing with and working on all that crap from my past and removing layers and layers. And the work was so important to me. Yeah. I'm not even touching on so many things, but
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay. I just, like I said, I made notes because there were so many things that I wanted to talk about, but I'm totally going off script here.
Okay. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You mentioned the word agency, and it felt super important to you. Can you explain to me what agency means to you? I don't need the dictionary definition, but like, what does it look like in your life?
To me, agency is like the ability to do what I feel is the right thing to do, and that I don't need to be constricted by other people's rules and other people's opinions of me that I don't even want to know. I don't need to know that. So to me, that is agency. It's a license. It's licensed to.
Ooh, it's like a permission slip.
It is a permission slip. I gave myself permission. And for anyone watching this right now, I give you permission. However, you need to figure out, you have to give yourself permission. Because if any of this is landing with you, things could be better in your world, right? And give yourself permission. I love that you're putting a little post-it there. I can't read the bottom.
Your permission
slip. Thank you. Yep. Thank you.
I have one around here.
That is so valuable. It's so valuable. Whether you put it in a post-it note or, something that I love to do that I had gotten from somebody else, I think Marissa Peer, is put it in your phone. Put it in your phone. I put so many important tips like that, tools in my phone just to remind myself I set it up every day. Reminder. I know, and actually now I know what time it is when that message comes in, but I always read the message. You are worthy, or you're enough. Sorry, not you're worthy. You're enough. Or you have, I don't have the message, you have permission. I gave myself permission and I never looked back. I gave myself permission. So please, who is ever watching this, if you are looking for permission, this is your permission slip from Laura and me and Jan. We're giving you permission to live your life and live it fully and live it well and live it calmly and peacefully. You deserve to have peace and calm in your life and not be anxious and not be so stressed and overtaxed and overwhelmed and overburdened. You deserve to have peace, and it's your job to find that peace, whether, again, I mentioned it before, whether it's going to a coach, finding a coach that will teach you that, to get you out of anxiety, finding a therapist if that works for you, or if finances are tight, find a book that can help you with that, or I love books, or find a course, or find many courses. I've taken so many courses, and I love reinforcing the lessons that I've learned. And sometimes, every so often, I hear a little nugget in there, and I'm like, oh, yes, I have that, but I didn't realize that's what it was called, or I didn't realize that other people experience it. We are all having this big human experience, and so many of us we're repeating the same thing. Like, we're doing what everybody else is doing. We think we're like this island. We think we're alone, but we're just human, and having our human experiences. And